For years now, people have asked me, why did I join the military? What possessed me to sign up? Stay with me and I'll tell you my story. It's been almost 50 years since I enlisted. And people always ask me, why did you serve? Why did you join the Navy? Why did you sign up and put everything on the line? Now, the truth of the matter is I didn't just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to go to a recruiter's office and just sign up. You know, I'm going to drop out of college. I was 3 years in. I was on my way to a great career. I'm just going to give that up and I'm going to serve my country. What possessed me to do such a thing? Well, the truth is, it was always in my blood. My dad was a Marine. He served in World War II. As an 18-year-old boy, he fought on Iwo Jima, Guam. He was during the occupation of China by the Japanese. He was there for the evacuation of that. He was a boy. I was a little older than the boy. I was 21. What possessed him during World War II to do it? I guess that was more the culture then. I had grown up during the Vietnam War. From 1965, I was 11 years old, through 1975. So that was, we knew, all of my friends had that looming, that shadow looming, that once we got out of high school, that's what we were doing. Well, in 1972, 73, there was a drawdown. They stopped sending people. My number was low. My number was 86. I could have been called, but I went to college. So I did 3 years in college, and then all of a sudden, I go into a recruiter's office and I sign up and I join the Navy. Why? Thought about that. Thought about all the years as a little boy looking up to my father. You know, he was the only one of my friends, fathers that had served, at least served the way he did in combat. My uncle served. My mother's cousin fought in the Battle of the Bulge and was killed. He was in a tank. My great-grandfather was in the Civil War. So maybe it was in my blood. Maybe some way to give to my country that gave me so much, but I didn't know that then. Now, as a 71-year-old man, I realize these things. You know, I guess with me it was kind of a legacy. It wasn't just the history of my family and their service. Or maybe it was. I felt it was my responsibility. But I guess a deeper answer would be, why did I serve? Because I believe in honor. I believe in duty. I believe in freedom. And I believe that freedom isn't free, that someone has to stand and watch. Again, I couldn't articulate it then. I don't know truly what possessed me to walk into that recruiter's office and say, listen, I don't know what you have to do, but, you know, I don't want to wait. I just want to go in. So, you know, as soon as a program opens that fits me, I wanted to go into communications. I wanted to go in this. Well, all of that was closed. I said, well, you know what? I'll just go and they'll figure it out. I'll take all the tests in boot camp and they'll figure out what I can do, what's best for my, you know, my abilities. And that's what happened. And I was a master at arms. I was in the supply department. I worked in the galleys. And I got to tell you, I loved it. It was more than a job. My last duty station, I was in submarines. My last duty station was New London, Connecticut, which was great because I'm from New York, and when I was able to, I could easily drive and see my folks 2 hours. And at that time, you know, it was just wonderful. It was in the mid-70s, and I loved being in the sub base. I loved working with my team. You know, those guys were incredible. So being in the service is not just a job. Whether you're in combat or not combat, it's deeper than a job. It gave me purpose. It gave me a team. It gave me pride. I stood beside some of the best men I'll ever know. I work with these guys every single day. Every single day, we did our job to the best of our ability. And that's something they don't teach you in college. They don't, you don't learn that in corporate America. I guess you do at some point, but there was nothing like being with that team, with those guys every day. And whether we had hardships or fun times, it didn't matter. We were together. We were brothers. There were a lot of civilians that worked on the base when we were in port, and they dedicated their lives to serving us. They worked the galleys. They did all of those things. They cleaned dishes. They did everything they needed to do. They're wonderful people. So they gave of themselves. They could have done any other job, but they supported us, and I guess we supported each other. So it was a great time in my life. Again, when you're going through things, you don't really realize how important it was in shaping the rest of my life. I learned so much from being on a team. I learned so much from my brothers and sisters who served with me at that time. Um, it taught me things that college could never teach me. And it stayed with me. It stayed with me to this day, and I wear it with pride. I really do. Um, I got injured in the military in training, uh, and I wasn't able to complete my 4 years. I made it to about 3 years. I blew my back out training, and I wound up spending time in the hospital at the base. But and then when I got out, I had 4 spine surgeries. I've had fusions and multiple things. I've radiculopathy in my legs because of my spine, so permanent nerve damage. So I walk with a flop foot a little bit. But you know what? Those are nothing. I'm at the VA a lot, and I see, to me, I see real heroes. I see, amputees. I see those that you can't see their scars on their body, but they're scarred from battle. I Those are the real heroes to me. I'm nobody's hero, so I'm not even putting this out for any illusion at all. No, I just, to my time, my dad was a hero to me. An 18-year-old boy in a battle where his best friend was killed right next to him, and he had to continue. And during the time he was on Iwo Jima, his mother had passed away suddenly. He didn't get sent home. He got sent to Guam and then to China. And then he filled his commitment with the Marines and then was discharged. And then by the time he got home, his father had remarried and his whole life was different. So now the life he knew as a boy beforehand was totally gone. Imagine his story, going into a recruiter's office, signing up right after graduating high school out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, signing up, being sent to Camp Pendleton, working with John Basilone and the great warrior that he was, and being sent with that division to Iwo Jima. To me, those were heroes. My service was more of a salute to them, was to honor them, and through that, I learned how to be a man. I learned so much. I can't, I live every day with being grateful because of the things that I learned during those 3 years. And since that time, working with the VA, going through everything I've been through physically with my disabilities and the care that I've gotten while in service and through the VA, you know, I couldn't buy that kind of love and dedication and caring. So, to my fellow brothers and sisters out there, you know what I'm feeling. You know what, we all have a story. So to me, it was one of the best times of my life. And I just wanted to share that with you all. And, you know, I salute you all.